Simply Sarah Show. My name is Sarah Tuck and I will be your host for today. And today we have Dr. Cesi Davidson from New York, and she is an author, and she will be sharing with us about her creative artwork today. But before we get started, please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. And we'll be right back after this commercial. Welcome back, everyone. But before we get started in letting Dr. Davis tell us a little bit about her creative artwork, we want to share a little bit about her. She holds a degree in speech, language, hearing science from the City University of New York. She has provided therapeutic service for children with communication and learning challenges for over 30 years. Playwriting emerged after years of dialogue as a therapeutic mother, sister, friend, companion, and period of spiritual introspection. She re-imaged her experiences in order to create compelling stories for the stage, giving voices to be her witness of human suffering and triumphs. Since the beginning of her writing in 2009, she has written hundreds of plays, demonstrating a broad range, fearless captivities, and cultural responsiveness. Her writing includes humorous explorations of personified objects to horrify stories of incest. She is a producer, artist. She's a founder and curator of short plays to nourish the mind and soul. Free Public Theater in New York City. She is one of 8 siblings and a mother of 2 outstanding young men, Hannah Ball and Rahakma Brian. And welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome.
And thank you, audience. Okay, so it's a pleasure to be here. I always welcome any opportunity to talk about theater and to talk about literacy and, most important, an opportunity to encourage reading plays. Think about when was the last time you went to a library or bookstore and you said, what's the latest play that's out there? I want to read it. Very few people do that, but we often think, well, what's the latest book out? What's the latest memoir? What's the latest fiction out there? Because we think of plays as something that's, it's a draft for a director, for an actor, for a performer. We don't think of it as usually as personal entertainment and literature that deserves our attention as much as a fiction book. So I actually came to Nashville to promote my new book, Bilabials. Bilabials and the titles of my other books, they're all from my training as a scientist. Bilabials means 2 lips coming together to form a speech sound. So I realized after writing this book that it was really a tribute to women. And this book has plays that give that are reflective of women's experience of their own body, of sensuality, of sexuality, of love and lost, and what love isn't. And so these books are available at Acirema Images in Nashville, which is an outstanding Black-centric, Afrocentric, African-centric bookstore run by Jordan Harris. And you can find them there along with Fricatives, my second book, and my first book, Articulation. So don't feel resistant to reading a play. These are short plays. You might just browse through each book and see, oh, this title resonates for me at this moment. The plays might take 60 minutes to read, that might take 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. They're all eclectic mixes of plays. So you may not get to New York to see my work, but you can enjoy them in literature, and I hope you will.
Okay. When you was writing this, did you find this easy to do, or was it overwhelming for you?
I wouldn't say that it's overwhelming. I would just say that writing requires my method requires a very devoted focus and sitting down and just working through it. So it's also joyful for me to see the finished product, and even more joyful when I get responses from people who have read the work or who have seen the plays produced, and they bring them inspiration or insight or an opportunity for intelligent conversation.
And I can relate to that. We just did a play called Grandma Maddie Gets Her Man.
Oh.
And, you know, to hear the people when they came out, give their interviews and express their feelings in what they saw, it was great to hear. You know, they talked about the actors as well as the creative artwork and how it was good and how they liked it and how it was a heartstring pull. So I do understand,
yes,
you know, when you're talking about that. So what advice can you give to others that might want to write?
Okay. Carry a pencil or a pen and a piece of paper in your pocket or your handbag at all times.
At all times.
When
Well,
something comes in, write it down. It may mean nothing at the time, but it may mean something.
so true, so true. Myself in the middle of the night, getting up and I'll think of something and I'll just write it down.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
can vouch for that too
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
Do you think patience is something that you need in doing this or not?
I absolutely think patience with yourself is important, so that you can just write freely and not edit your thinking, not edit what comes out of your heart, just let it flow. And it's probably more difficult to have patience with yourself than it is to have patience with other people.
So true, so true. Well, we would like to thank you for coming today and being a part of the Simply Service show. And
I'm wondering if I could just read something really quickly from the
Okay.
new book. So this book, again, a tribute to women, contains photographs, which I took, as well as prose and poetry between the plays. So I'm going to read just one short excerpt of prose from the book. And it's about a woman called Rose. Rose was gorgeous. She had one physical eye, 4 fingers on each hand. Her cleft lips had been poorly repaired with surgery. Her left arm was shorter than the right. She wrote poetry and signed contracts with her left hand. Her legs reached from the hip sockets to the knees. Her genitals worked perfectly. Rose knew that a woman is responsible for her own joy and possibilities. She was boundless. Rose was a self-loving woman. Thank you.
And we thank you once again for joining us today. And we hope to have you back very soon.
I'd love to come to Tennessee again. Thank you.
How you gonna respond?
It was indeed a great pleasure to meet and greet Dr. Cesi Davidson on today. And I would like to take this time to give a special thanks to Mr. Jarvis Sheffield for introducing us and letting me give her the opportunity to be on my show. She has touched many people's lives with her creative artwork, and I wish her the very best in the near future. While helping a group of hard-working women plant rice in a rural northern Thailand, she asked the cheerful, laughing women, "What do you do for fun?" "Plant rice," was the cheerful reply for these women. She is a gift of God. Once again, thank you, and until we meet again, sincerely, Sarah Ty.
Somebody needs to know that in the midst of your adversities, in the midst of your circumstances, that God is there in the midst. He'll never leave you or forsake you. I see my brothers hurting, I see my sisters crying. Things ain't working out, but Lord knows I'm trying. So many disappointments, so many hearts are broken. Lord, I need some answers, I need some doors to open. See, my money's low, and my bills are high. I've been going through, I just wanna cry. Nobody's reaching out, nobody's hearing me. It seems like nobody cares about what it's dear to me. Oh, tell somebody you love you, grab somebody and hug her. Tell somebody you care, tell somebody let them know you're there. Oh, God knows you're struggling, He's there in your trouble. He'll never leave or forsake you. You serve a God who loves you. Tell somebody you